Hello everyone, this is Mike Barta, currently aspiring rigger and animator, and today I'm going to be showing you the Blackbutton Rig. The Blackbutton Rig was created for the Lady Wrestlers project. That was a student film that we worked on, and this is one of the characters. Now you'll notice first of all that he has a trench coat, and this was pretty difficult for us to decide how we were going to handle it because we didn't want the coat tail sticking to his leg as his leg moved, and as you can see it doesn't. But at the same time, if his leg moved out like this, we needed the coat to react accordingly. So basically, we tried to use end cloth, but given the amount of time we had, it wasn't really panning out very well, so I decided to create a full rig for it instead. And the way that this works is, as you can see, there's a little C here because there's actually quite a bit of control to this, and this can kind of cluster things up a little bit. So in order to get that out of the way, I put in a visibility control here so that it won't be interfering while you're trying to select the leg and such like that. But when you do come in here to control this, you'll see there's multiple levels here. The way this works is you can control them separately by selecting each ring here and moving them wherever you need to go. You can move them, you can rotate them, you can scale them so that you can get the amount of control you need. It'll stretch nicely. But additionally, you can come in and there's these little squares. Now what these little squares are is just finer control so that you can get in there and really kind of move it to where you need it to go, which gives you just a tremendous amount of control. And it seems a little daunting, so that's why I had to add various levels of control so that everything tried to flow together nicely. And also the visibility control is very handy so that it can get it out of your way when you're animating. And so then moving on, you have your basic foot control, which will move his leg anywhere you need it to, and his roll. With then this in the IK setting here has its pull vector, so that works nicely. Handy little thing for both the arms and legs is the IK FK switch, which will, of course, switch between IK and FK. Very basic. And you could switch the entire rig at the same time from IK to FK if you want. So then you'll see the master control. This will basically move the entire deal or scale him up or down at your leisure. Then there's a secondary control here. This is like the secondary master control, and if say you were selecting this one and you wanted to rotate him, it would rotate from the bottom. But if you wanted to say rotate him from the middle, then you would select this one and it would rotate a little better. Say if he were lying down on an upraised bench or something. Then you have the inner circle here is the pelvis manipulator, which works basically as one would expect. You rotate it, you translate it, and it does pretty much what you want it to. Moving up, you'll see that there is spine control, and basically this is an FK spine, so I like to select them all at the same time and move them together to get a more natural bend, but you can, of course, select them individually and move them. So moving over here, another problem that ended up running into was, of course, the cuffs. We didn't want them to stick to the arm. Now, this is pretty basic. The arm works nicely, but when we move down, we get to the arm and we realize that hey, it doesn't work as well. If we want it to stick kind of close to what it's doing, then we need to be able to have more control of the cuff so that it doesn't look so static. So the way I did that is I added some more controls in here, which of course can be hidden. And so as you can see, since we got some geometry mesh problems, we can fix that by coming in here and selecting these couple of controls here and rotating them or what have you, and moving the cuffs into basically any position that we want. Of course, that's the finer controls. There's little controls all the way around, and you can use the bigger one here just if you want a generalized control scheme. Go ahead and zero that out, and zero those out too. So we come to the fingers. The fingers, very basic. You select the finger here, and if you want to curl the entire finger, you select base, mid, tip, and it curls both ways. If you want to curl all the fingers, you select base, mid, tip, and it curls like that. And we have the spread and spread translate. Typically, the spread will work just like this, but if you want to bring your fingers together, you see we got the little gap problem. So in order to fix that, we would additionally have this translate, and we would work those together until we get something nice, maybe like this, so that the hand now spreads together nicely, and then it also can spread apart nicely as well. Thumb has a lot of the same basic controls: base, mid, tip, so it'll curl, spread, and twist. Get it in any position you need it to be. We have shoulder controls, obviously. Clavicle maneuver here that works. Then we come to the upper part here, and you can see that he has this collar here, and the collar, like other parts of the trench coat, was something that would have been nice to be animatable, just because we didn't want it to be static like a piece of cardboard. So I added a series of controls here, which in addition can be turned off so that it can get them out of your way. And then you'll see that there's certain levels of control. So this side, say, if I want to select this side, I select this control and I move that up and down, and that'll move that part. But if I just want to move little individual parts, there's a finer control in here that will move these parts so that you can get them into a finer position. And the same for the other side, and then even the same for the back side. Say you want to move the entire collar together, then you select this guy back here and you move him up and down, or scale him, or what have you. Moving on, we come up here and you can of course select his jaw, open it up, and open his mouth, and that's rotatable and translatable based on what you think looks better. He does have a couple of blend shapes here. The right lips go down, kind of give him a little bit of sneering face here. Then we go on to his mustache. His mustache, additionally, there's a little control here that can turn the controllers on and off so that you can so that they aren't in your way. His mustache has these finer controls, just a little FK setup here, and you can move or translate those in any position together or separate to animate his mustache. Alright, moving upwards even farther, we have the eye locators here, which will make him look anywhere that you need him to. You can either have his eyes move together, or you can select the inner circles and do something separate. Selecting these little circles around his eyes, you can control his eyelids. So if you move them together, he blinks, lower and upper eyelids, same deal. He has some blend shapes on his face, which will do different things, but as you notice, his eyebrows here don't exactly move with it. So in order to have a finer amount of control, because these eyebrows are separate geometry tacked on a little later, you can move these to the blend shape you need them to be, and then you can move the eyebrows to match, or you can mix and match to get a variety of different expressions based on how his face is moving or not moving, however that works. And then finally we come up to his hat. His hat, like everything else on him, has a variety of controls, different levels, and you can turn the visibility on and off so that it's not in your way. So there's a couple different levels here. There's the outer control, the inner control, which if you look in here closer also have their little different levels of control so that you can get many different shapes with the hat. You have a control in here that moves the entirety of the inner part of the hat. You have a control out here that moves the entirety of the outer part of the hat. And then you have this guy, which just moves the entire hat. So, very sophisticated hat setup. And that is the Blackbutton rig. I hope you've enjoyed my presentation, and I'm going to have some more videos out here very soon. Thank you.